Magic Johnson, who is such a, you know, I want to say a careful guy. I mean, I love Magic Johnson so much.
Well, always talk about things, but you're right. It has a tendency. He sounds, honestly, sometimes
very
sounds
measured.
Yes.
Very measured.
Sometimes sounds like a politician, like he doesn't want to attack people. But we got him now. We don't hear Magic this strong about something. He's talking, of course, about Donald Trump and about the so-called Muslim ban and the ban of 7 people entering this country from 7 other countries.
So we got him out, and you know what? Just listen to the words here. He is unusually strong.
It's wrong to discriminate against people.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of great Muslim brothers and sisters who are here doing a wonderful job of being great Americans. He's got to learn that, you know, you can't just be a dictator. I just, first of all, pray to God that, you know, something will click with him and he can get it, or somebody can get it in his cabinet that can get to him to talk to him, because this is not right.
Well, Magic Johnson is not alone. And, you know, I just want to make a point here, because Magic, you know, Magic is royalty in L.A. I mean, he is just royalty in L.A. And, again, a very measured guy. There have, during the election, to me at least, a lot of celebrities were just kind of white noise. They all jumped on the same bandwagon. You weren't sure what they felt. But now, the celebrities are banding together in this, after the Muslim ban, and they are being heard now, and it feels different to me. And, you know, even Gigi and Bella Hadid, who went out and
took
marched.
to the streets.
You know, and by the way, I mean, you know, they have a dog in the fight because of their dad.
Right.
But, you know, just the fact that people are getting involved this way, it feels very different from the normal, okay, I'm a celebrity, I'm going to get involved in this.
Can I ask you why, though? I think that a lot of these issues, and I'm legitimately asking the question, I think a lot of these issues that they're getting involved with now were things that they feared during the campaign.
I think that's exactly it, Van. It's the difference. They feared it, but they didn't want to say it because they didn't have, if you had said it that you just fear it, then the other side could come back to you and just say, well, nothing's happened.
Well, but
now it's actually happened.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference. A lot of them were just affirmatively supporting Hillary Clinton, and I don't think that rang true with a lot of people who just didn't like her and maybe like Trump less or whatever. But I think it was the support of Hillary that didn't resonate, but what they're doing now, which is very different, is resonating. Right. And I think there's a difference.
Well, I think there's something tangible now where you can say, look, that document was signed. This is something that the president is now put in.
It's happening.
Yeah,
That's happening.
It's happening.
To that point, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, these were the Trump administration is making good on promises that they made, and that's kind of why people were not liking him, right?
No.
So,
I think a lot. But Van, it was all cast in the framework of we love Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's really the way that was cast.
Because that's all you could say. There wasn't something to actually protest.
Well, you can't stand on the stage with her and say, well, she's a lesser of two. I mean, you can't do that.
Because that's all you could stand at that point. There wasn't something to protest because something hadn't been done.
The only thing that sort of gets me about a lot of the outrage that's happening now is that anyone who's been following the campaign, or anyone that followed the campaign throughout the time that, you know, he was out there talking to the American people, should be expecting all of these things, because this is exactly what he promised.
Now, I will say this. You should not say that he's without support, because I don't know.
Well,
by the way, I mean, look, I saw one poll this morning where it said that the majority of Americans, by a small amount, are in favor of the ban. And that isn't shocking either, because
he's the president.
They elected Donald Trump president, right?
Right. So
by a majority, it was elected. Well, I guess some people would say not a majority. Depends on what you're measuring.
No, but
to that point, I should say I want to, because we had another person out who was also very passionate about this, but in a different way than what Magic said. Tank, the singer, we got out and we asked him about this. Here was his response. I think, look, he makes it very clear how he feels, because he says it over and over.
What did you think about this ban that they passed this week? I'm sorry, that's bright.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Love is the only thing that's going to change everything.
Really?
Immigrants built this nation.
I mean, is it kind of unsettling? Like it's kind of.
But guess what?
It's.
America elected this president. So, guess what? Sometimes you get what you ask for. Sometimes you get what you ask for.
He said it about 4 or 5 more times. And it's like he wanted you to think about it. You get what you ask for.
Can I ask you
as
something?
a whole,
Who's surprised here?
as a whole, America.
I mean, you shouldn't be surprised if you're educated.
But on either side, who's surprised?
Well, I mean, I think that there are some people, and you heard this refrain continuously throughout the campaign. I think you might have even said this a couple of times. That listen, this is not really his heart. He doesn't really mean this. He's just using this to get elected. The reality is that he meant everything he said. And everything that he campaigned on, that's what we're about to get. And even some things that maybe we didn't, that he didn't campaign on, we're about to get those things too. So for the people that supported Donald Trump and for the people that are in favor of the administration, just hold on to your hats. We got a long road to go.
You know, and we're going to move on. But I just want to say one other thing. It's like the pendulum in this country has swung back and forth for hundreds of years, where it goes to one side, then goes to the other side. And somehow we always survive. And I've seen it just as a student of law. I've seen it with the court. With the U.S. Supreme Court, a number of times when you really study the court over several hundred years, you see these radical swings when one side dominates, then the other side dominates. And yet, the way this country was founded with this amazing document, it has always survived.
Well,
and people always say it won't, but it always does.
It always does. And by the way, that's the Supreme Court's, that's their duty, is to make sure that it stays overall in the middle and stays on the Constitution, right?
However, what Donald Trump does tomorrow is going to have a huge impact on this court, because he's going to appoint somebody, and that is going to shift the balance one way or the other.
Hey guys, Amanda Palomino from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and all I gotta say is wow. I mean, kudos to Magic Johnson for speaking so strongly and eloquently about this topic, but I think he's right. What we need right now is a unifier, somebody that's going to bring our country together and show what makes this country so amazing. And that was acceptance and open arms. And right now what we're getting and what we're showing to the rest of the world is not that. And as a parent, that scares me.
Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.